And Ruba, I wanted to just mention one thing about blame, that when we blame others, we do that because we don't want to take responsibility ourselves. And the reason we don't want to take responsibility is because we're immature.
Yeah,
When we're
that will be my next when we come next time for our lecture, we're going to talk a little bit about money, because that's one of the things that many of the reverts, they fall into this, where they marry someone from overseas and they end up paying everything for them, bringing them over here, taking care of them. And then they need about 2-3 years for the men to stand on their feet. And once they get that citizenship or that green card, they just got accustomed to the woman doing everything for them, like pampering them, basically doing everything for them. And then what happened is when the woman starts asking, for her rights, for her duties, like for the man to do his duties as a man, to stand up and be a man, he gets mad and he starts yelling and he starts like, you don't have the right, of course, because he just so became laid back that making the woman doing everything.
He became spoiled. He became spoiled.
And you know what? I fell into this twice. Like I married twice and before this one, and I did the same thing. I brought them over here. And I thought the second time would be this, like it would be different, but it was not a different thing. It was the same thing. And probably it's my fault because I'm the one that I spoil people. I am very generous. I give a lot and things like that. So once they kind of like laid back and they're like, okay, well, she's doing everything for me. Why would I pay? Why would I do this? Yeah, that's right.
But I do want to say something important related to that.
Yeah.
Everything is a learning process, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have these experiences because, we're meant to learn something. There's a hikmah in that, and you have to find the hikmah in why that happened. You have to look at the hikmah and why this happened. But what's very, very important is to think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had put something in place for you when he gave us a mahr, which means that you could have easily put into your mahr, these are the conditions that I expect or want. However, the fact is that you need to stabilize yourself when you come here. So I'm willing to help in this manner. But basically, your rights are really written out for you from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that everything should be taken care of, from your rent to your mortgage, to your electricity, to your, your car, your insurance. Everything is covered by the man. And even he should be giving you some allowance or some kind of, budget within reason. But I mean, in your mahr, you had a chance to outline that as your contract so that you could have made that person fulfill that contract when necessary. Do you know what I mean, Ruba?
Yeah, thanks so
much. Your contract, you had an opportunity in your mahr to list the things that, to make sure that those things were in place for you.
But here's the thing is, one of the things that Muslims, when they marry a revert, they see her as she's not going to ask for a lot of mahr because a lot of, that's right, right? Yeah, see, I have other sisters over here are agreeing with me. That was one of the mistakes that as new Muslims we do, is like, oh, we wanna follow the Sahaba and the companions of the Prophet who did not have to pay a lot of mahr, and as long as he loves me, I know that he's gonna appreciate me, I know that he's gonna pay this and that. And then it turns out that they actually took advantage of that woman. And many of the Muslims, they want to marry a new Muslim because, the mahr of the ones that they are born Muslims is very high. And it's just they also make it almost impossible for a decent Muslim man to marry a decent Muslim woman because the parents make it so hard with that mahr. Does that make sense? Anyway, I don't want to be talking about money because that's going to be a whole different subject. I want to go back to our poor communication thing.